I'm still laughing.
Let us all in.
All right, so do you want my joke now or you want it later?
No, go ahead, man. You had jokes. Everybody had knee slappers when the cameras was on. Right?
Knee slappers. Knee slappers is always funny. No, I was going to say you look like an alien that would be hiding, like if you were trying to like be inconspicuous.
Like he lifts his hat and there's like a little alien under there, pulling all the
another face on top of his head,
the gears and everything.
Yeah, like I feel like if you were the guy like in the room that I had to peg to say, hey, that's a fucking alien. If I've ever seen one, I think I'd point to you.
I'm a bad human. Like, I can't even be myself.
Yo, he's definitely like in Men in Black. You know that I don't know if you saw the recent one, but the guy had a beard and there's an alien in the beard. He definitely got one on his head because he never wants to show it.
That's a spoiler alert.
Maybe you too, Brandon. Maybe everyone who has bald heads, they're aliens.
Yeah, he was about to go off, right? He was about to go off. Yeah, let's
Like,
yeah, Erin.
I've noticed so many guys, especially guys I know, all of a sudden they're becoming like they're shaving their heads and have beards, and I'm like,
yo, trendsetters.
Y'all are definitely some aliens. I feel like that's like an alien thing to do.
Wilson's next.
Nah, what, to shave it? Oh, the second my shit starts going, I'm shaving it, man.
Yeah.
I hate it when niggas try to hold on to like
You tried to convince me
that they
to
got on top of their
tattoo.
head.
You tried to convince me to get a hair tattoo.
Oh yeah, I did.
Hold on. Before we start, Grassroots Podcast, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button to be notified for the latest to the greatest episodes. I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon, but sometimes you can call me Nasty Erin.
Ooh,
Wait, what's happening? Coming in hot today.
I felt like, because Nas is always wearing his shades, I can't, he already has that kind of like set, like his set look.
Stole his whole shit.
Stole his whole swag.
Nasty
How to
Erin.
swag.
Nasty Erin
Sounds like a nasty.
That sounds
really nasty. That sounds really nasty. That sounds really nasty.
When I say Nasty Erin, I am just at home watching Netflix.
Well, you know what they say
That's
about
still
Netflix.
nasty. That's actually very nasty.
What they say about Netflix.
Yep, Netflix and go to sleep.
Yo, it's
That's
your
a
man
fucked up
Prosciutto Brown.
Prosciutto brown.
Right, see?
Isn't prosciutto like a dish or prosciutto? What?
I was thinking about Bushido blade.
No, what is prosciutto? Prosciutto? I feel like the fans are gonna kill me now. Prosciutto.
Yeah, you're right. Prosciutto. It's like
Prosciutto, right?
Yeah, like a hard ass cracker.
What?
That's what it is. Prosciutto?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Somebody look it up.
Y'all
I don't
sound
know.
crazy. Let me look this up.
Yes,
That's what it is. Thank you.
pork.
G, what's up, man? How are you?
G, let them know that's pork.
You good, G?
Say, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
G.
It's Johnny, the cameraman.
Get your perverted ass off the mic.
Damn, what is G doing?
Everyone,
That gotta be,
Johnny.
that gotta be the worst drop ever. If this is your one moment of fame, G, for you to say, hey,
A
guys.
prosciutto is an Italian dry cured ham that is
ham,
usually thinly
prosciutto.
sliced and served uncooked.
That's what it is.
What did I just say?
Prosciutto.
I
That's
just
what
said
it
that.
is.
I just said that was pork.
No, wait, prosciutto.
Thank you, G.
Pork. It is pork?
What did you?
I don't even
I
know
just
what I'm
said
eating
ham.
anymore. All right, whatever. I don't even know what I'm eating
Yo,
anymore.
you're crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Happy Sunday.
No, nobody ever believes me.
Hold on,
Or
people.
Tuesday if you're going to watch this.
I'm Wilson.
Oh, yeah, I
We
forgot.
really got to get this shit down.
Yeah,
Get tired of this.
That's true. That's true.
I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at your zip jean bottoms.
Yeah, word.
Well,
You're really fashionable
Very
today.
trendy.
Oh, my God.
But the thing is, I haven't noticed them because I've always been looking at your kneecaps because they're out in the
There we
open.
go.
I don't know what you and Brandon are on. You all just always want your knees out.
The viewers may not know this, but I have beautiful knees. I do.
I have beautiful knees.
I've been told.
Yo, you're
Never
the
heard
same
that
person
statement.
that is a firm believer of never showing your legs ever and your feet, yet you were supposed to go on record and vouch for you that you have beautiful knees. And second of all, I don't even know where we're going with this.
He's teasing them.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Scandalous.
I don't know what's happening.
But you know what's scandalous? Those people who try to go to Area 51 and bombard it ended
Oh
up
my
having like a freaking cookout.
Fam. That would kind of
Nas,
be
were you there?
out on the low.
Hell no. I was waiting for that massacre to happen.
You weren't there?
No, I was not there.
Why would you want those people to get massacred? Why would you want those people to get massacred? They're fighting for us.
They're not fighting. Don't fight for me. Not
They're
in
fighting for us.
Not in my name. not in my name. Nobody asked you.
You do know that aliens exist, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He just said the second he can get on that ship and get out of here,
I'm going.
he gonna get out of here.
No taxes.
So we don't find it interesting that he doesn't believe in ghosts, but believes in aliens. That doesn't strike you as odd?
Yeah,
that doesn't speak to him?
Yeah, when you're dead, you're dead.
Well, you know what? I used to work with this woman, and I asked her because she was like really religious. So I was like, and we were talking about aliens. She was like, "Oh, there's no such thing." Blah blah blah. So I was like, You believe a man walked on water, but you don't believe that there could be another life out there? Like,
Yeah, I don't.
that's insane.
And also a ghost thing. Well, not in his religion, but in Christianity, the Holy Ghost.
When you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah, that's it. That's just a dub for you.
No, when you go meet your maker, man.
That's definitely gonna be on your tombstone.
Yeah,
when
word.
you're dead,
you're dead.
Yeah,
With-
is there
Nas,
anything
circa.
With that hat and them fucking glasses, like with the head cocked to the side, like he looks like that'd be like the perfect like headstone picture. Was like,
you're dead. I'm dead.
No,
You're dead.
the perfect picture is your yearbook photo.
yeah, my yearbook photo is fire.
Yo.
You can't post it yet.
I
though.
got to see that shit.
That was
my
some
yearbook
valid.
photo's fire.
Oh no, I posted in the group chat. It was a photo that Kyle took. It was his valedictorian photo.
Oh, I thought it was his actual. I want to see Brandon's actual.
Nah, my shit was kind of fire. Now think about it.
You have
I think
facial
that's
hair?
the-
Did you smile or you
Yeah, I
didn't?
did have facial hair.
Yeah?
Did you smile or you didn't smile?
I didn't smile. I was a thug. And
Brandon had a full beard at like 6. Facts.
no. I had a full beard since like 13, 14, somewhere around there.
You're an alien.
Impressive, sir.
I'm
You
not.
both are aliens.
No, he's more of an alien.
Fine by me.
I guess what do we think these people were
Fine
gonna
by
do?
me.
Like, did they really think that they were just gonna go to a government protected facility and just storm there? Like, how's it supposed to
I
work?
wish somebody would have just ran and the security guards would just beat the shit out of one of them.
But even if that were, let's say,
Just
let's
beat the brakes off.
Let's say that happened, right? Do you think that we would even ever know about it? Like, do you
Yeah.
think that the government, the same way, I'm a firm believer that the government, they do things to people when they go missing.
You don't have to be a
Well,
firm
yeah.
believer. They've been on
They definitely
record.
do
They've
that
been
shit.
testing on people like for a while.
my
Like so,
point.
you don't have to be a firm. That shit happens.
My
Yeah.
point.
I couldn't wait. They were doing that stupid ass Japanese run.
Excuse me. It's a Naruto run.
That's
Yeah.
a Naruto, right?
Get it correct.
They look like sperm
It's
cells.
a Naruto run.
Yeah, it's all fun
Get it
again.
correct.
Try to catch a nigga running like that.
Yo,
Probably.
You'll never catch him.
Yeah, I don't know.
drop
I
kick him.
don't know if that's easy person to catch. And second of all,
Yeah.
they're not moving their arms.
yeah, but anybody
They're
that's
not moving.
Yeah, but
That's what
what-
it looks like.
what
It's
if
too
he-
fast for the
but-
eyes to see.
yeah,
But
100%.
safety net. What if he had them oiled?
Even
Had
just
what
like the
order?
body's
His
just-
arms.
His
he says,
arms?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
think
actually,
I catch him?
he's
That's
not
a lot
getting
of wind friction, though.
You know what's
if you
mad
think
funny?
about
I
it.
know-
that's a lot.
When I in elementary school and middle school, we had a dude that lived around our block. When we played pickup football, he would put baby oil on his body, and cats couldn't catch him.
That's a
Fucking
smart
game
guy.
was he playing?
That's a smart guy.
Oh, wait.
That's a smart
He's
guy right
playing without
there.
a shirt.
Yeah.
Hold on, you went to tackle?
Ooh.
Yo, you couldn't.
But did you go to tackle him?
Tried. Slid right off. Pause.
Hey, yo, Jesus Christ.
Wait a
Oh,
second.
That's name son.
That sounded crazy. Wow. Tried to grab him, I slipped right off. All right. Nice segue there. The Boondocks is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, what happened, man?
Nothing happened. Well, hopefully nothing happened. The Boondocks is back. Let me read this little
HBO
blurb.
Max.
Yo, man, you read that man's HBO streaming service, HBO Max, is coming out.
Okay.
2 seasons. It's gonna be fire.
Do you think?
Well,
What-
because Aaron is a showrunner, so that's like the
Yeah.
most important thing. Because
Yeah.
before they were going to bring it back, but they were saying that he wasn't going
He
to
wasn't
necessarily be
gonna do it.
involved. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, nah. I mean, that guy, yo, he is a prophet.
Yeah.
He predicted the R. Kelly stuff way in advance.
Ray Charles could have saw that coming.
Well, but yeah, but even still, you have to really think about him. A lot of this stuff for fans and viewership that don't know, the Boondocks is one of like the original OG shows next to like South Park that started doing a lot of really, really cool, funny bits, but that started to come true. So I'm wondering if that will still be the case. Like, I wonder what the make of this show will be now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what will this show look like?
Fam, you got it.
And how are they going to function in this cancel culture world that we're in now?
They're
Where
going to make fun of it.
Oh,
you think so?
Oh, yeah.
So can they still say all of those inappropriate words that happen in the world that you can't say?
I feel like we're getting to a point where people are getting so fed up with
they're just gonna rebel.
politically correct and cancel
Yeah.
culture, because when cancel culture was starting to really happen recently, it was to get these rapist men out of here, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
But now people just throw that word or that just terminology around so nonchalantly, and people don't even do it. Like, they don't even actually cancel. All
Yeah.
people do is they hide away for a bit and they come back. For example, Sabrina Claudio is still around.
I forgive
A few of them are still. She just dropped some music.
I forgive
A few
her.
of them are still around. There's no such thing as cancel culture. Cancel culture now is not a thing.
Really
What they
think
need
about-
to
yeah.
call it, what they need to call it, is accountability culture.
Well,
Yeah.
That is a lot better than saying cancel culture.
where's my man Louis C.K.?
Well, wait, didn't he die?
He didn't even do nothing wrong.
Whoa.
You see how far he got canceled?
Wait, I'm just
Easy.
asking.
He thought the man was dead.
What
No,
did
but
he
that's
do?
what I'm saying. What they do is, I can tell you right now, I have friends who do PR. What they would literally tell their client is, fall off the face of the earth for a bit, and then we'll tell you when to come back. Do you know how many times people have done that? Where you're like, oh, yeah, we got them. They fell off the face. Nah, man, you didn't do jack shit. It was the publicist that told them to be quiet, not say anything, hide away, and then they come back later. There's several people that everyone has supposedly canceled. They're dropping music now.
Yeah, no,
They got a
no.
new cookbook.
I can't
They
name
got
anybody
this
that
and
got canceled and came back.
What are you talking
Name
about?
me somebody that got canceled.
I just named one. Everyone was
That's what
trying
I'm
to
saying.
cancel Sabrina
But that's my
Claudio.
point.
She just dropped a single the other day.
No, that's my point.
I been gave Sabrina Claudio,
the hell
and
is Sabrina
newsflash,
Claudio?
I was never mad at her.
She was the artist who
Yeah, what did she do?
came out with saying, like, they found on her social media, she was saying a lot of racist, like, anti-dark skin stuff. And people said, oh, she's canceled.
I forgive her. She just put in a
She
record
just
out.
dropped, like, a record the other day.
And I love
And
it.
no one was
you
saying
don't really
anything.
get canceled for that, though.
Well, Negroes are
Oh no, they
forgiving.
tried to.
yeah, you
No,
can,
they
you can
tried
say
to
the
cancel
N-word and
her.
be good.
Nah, she was canceled for a little bit.
Nah, Negroes are
a
forgiving.
little bit.
Negroes are forgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You're
cancel
forgiving
culture.
people.
The
You're forgiving
true
people.
essence of cancel culture does
My
not
people, too.
exist.
No, in sexual
No, it's not.
harassment, it does.
Hold on,
When it comes to
these
like
are not your
sexual
people.
harassment and shit, you don't come back from that shit.
Well, hold on.
Even when you don't deserve to be.
Listen, I just want to go on record by saying
Exiled.
No, all right. So, and this is off, right? I don't know. I know how this always happens, but just humor me. I'm saying this for a reason. Kevin Spacey. Y'all know what's happening with Kevin Spacey, right?
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey's accuser just passed away. What does that mean for Kevin Spacey?
Well, his accuser was also a liar.
But how do we know that though?
tried to
Because we
break
never
it.
even
Came out.
got
He
we
did.
never even
He
got
tried-
to the point of
Wait, hold on. How was he lying?
Because he tried to blackmail him. And he's like, yo, I
did,
got
right?
the text message. Kevin said, release him because it's going to show that you tried to blackmail me. He's like, oh, well, maybe we could settle out of court.
How old was the dude when he was messing with him?
Allegedly.
Allegedly?
I don't know. That makes
Like
no never mind.
17, I
The
think,
point
16,
is, networks, I'm sure, are going to start talking to Kevin Spacey. How long do you think Kevin Spacey will not be in the entertainment business?
Yeah.
Is my point. Like, in this day and age, canceling someone doesn't really happen. Close, maybe. Like, close. The only person I think that's really gotten canceled when you think about it is R. Kelly.
But you know how long
They
it took?
canceled his ass.
Do you know how long it took for him to actually finally do it?
They should have did
but-
this trial 30 years ago.
No, but hold on. But even with that, though, right? The only reason I think it took long because there was no real cancel culture back then. Like, back then, really think about it. When he was out here running amok,
Yo.
there was no accountability.
No.
Yeah, how do-
No, it's timing. It's because of timing.
Yeah.
Hold on. what's
Honestly, if the I'll be honest. I personally feel like if the Me Too thing wasn't really as
Aggressive?
publicly, I wouldn't say aggressive. I don't think that's a great term to say with it. But if it wasn't as publicly out there, I don't think he would have got canceled.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely would have got canceled. If it was today and he was on tape having sex with a minor, you gotta think about it. Yo, he did that shit and then came back and made
Yeah, but-
Chocolate Factory.
No, but the Me
That's a great
no.
album.
For
That
all
was
the
a
little
great
kids, like,
album.
no, it's a great album, but
But
he
think
shouldn't
about
be
it.
Willy Wonka with all these kids, man.
yeah.
But think about it. The Me Too was at an all-time high. Then the doc dropped. And after that documentary series dropped, that's when everyone was like, oh, maybe we should look back into it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that series or Me Too being at such a high point, I honestly do not think that he would have been canceled
Nah.
as soon as he did
But
like
hold on.
recently.
Are we talking about his first sex tape? Because that came out like before the internet.
Well, no. All right. So
No, I'm saying
he
I'm
would've got
saying no.
destroyed.
I'm saying now.
She's
I'm
saying
saying
now,
now.
yeah.
I'm saying it was honestly part of the reason why R. Kelly got canceled and what he's going through right now is a timing thing. Me Too was already at an all-time high because he wasn't the first person that was added. That was when Weinstein and then this person, that person, and then on top of that too, when that series dropped, that's when the law looked back into it. Even knowing his whatever you want to call it, his truth, his accusations, I don't care. But everyone's been knowing that this stuff has been going on.
Yeah.
That series is what really forced people to say, oh, we can't because of Me Too and because of social media.
Yeah.
If they didn't have those two combinations, and if Me Too wasn't really at its highest, I don't think they would have looked at it, at least the legal and law people would have looked into it as quickly as they did.
Oh yeah, they definitely wouldn't have. But also, if his tape would have came out for the first time, now, like with social media and shit, he would have been done. He would have never made it to this second time around if social media was around back then.
I think if that documentary is not done, regardless, Me Too has nothing to put on a pedestal and say, hey, look, this is a great example of why we should be canceling this person. I don't think that. Yeah, if without that documentary, I don't think anything happens to R. Kelly because nothing happened prior to that doc. I think sets up the chain of events that where we are now. Because people don't get affected until they actually witness someone being affected. So for you to say or for you to see these women or hear about these women, these alleged, I can't even say alleged, all these young girls that he's been with, and never see the victims of the family members or to see how people are affected. Yeah. I don't think anything moves. The point is you see these people, however one skewed it was, however they spun it.
Yeah.
But you see people being affected, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to go do something.
For context purposes, I gotta help you out here. For context purpose, he said young women because in the doc they are women. But they were young girls when it happened. So I don't want anyone misconstruing that because I know people get tired of, especially when it comes to young girls being sexually abused. The media calls them young women, which I think is so messed up in itself. They're girls. They're now women.
Yeah,
so
true.
Just had to contextually add that.
It's only one person that got canceled and finitoed. It's Jason Mitchell, the guy who played Easy. He was out there wilding out on the shot.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, we don't even know what the fuck he did.
Oh, yeah, wait, what did he even do? I forgot about that.
Whatever he did.
He was being too handsy.
His agency
with his
dropped
co-star.
him. He got fired, and his agency dropped him. And now he's at home back in New Orleans.
But hold on, but is that canceled because of the culture? Or is that canceled
because it's not big
it's
enough?
not big enough? Yeah, that's my thing.
I don't know that.
No, that's canceled because of the culture.
I don't know that woman. Do you know how bad you got to mess up for your agency to drop you?
That's what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't matter how big you are. Once you get accused of all that rape and sexual harassment shit, you're done.
No, how big you are does matter.
Look at Bill Rob.
And I'm not saying that from society. I'm saying from the agency and business side.
No, I understand.
It takes a lot for your agency or anyone that's making money off of you to be like, yeah, no, we're cutting you off.
Man, you can't just take out.
No, but look at Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Someone's still making money from him, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's still canceled.
No, he's not. He's coming back.
When? Put a date on it.
I don't know. He's coming back. If I tell somebody I'm going upstairs to masturbate, you can join me if you want, and then they come upstairs, and then I masturbate in front of them. Whose fault is that for them not leaving?
Obviously, it's theirs.
I'm gonna take the opposing side here, right?
Of course.
Let's say let's say I'm a woman, right? And let's say I do go up there.
Brenda.
Yeah, I'm Brenda. Call me Brenda. That's my mom's name. Don't be funny. Don't be funny.
I didn't know
Don't be funny. Don't be funny. I'll snuff you. Don't be funny. I'll knock that fucking hat right off.
Damn. Yo, Nas did some research.
Don't be funny. Don't be funny, Nas.
Are you changing your name no more?
You're taking this fucking act on the road.
All right, we'll call you
Brandon.
Henrietta.
Bring us all the way in. What are you wearing?
I see what's happening here. No, all jokes aside though, if I'm a woman, right, and I go upstairs, let's say I do, because I don't even know what the allegation is with him.
He masturbated in front of them.
So all he did was just masturbate.
It was his
on
hotel room. He said, "Look, I'm gonna masturbate. You guys could leave or stay. It's up to you, but I'm gonna masturbate."
And he ejaculated on himself.
So hold on, did he go upstairs himself, and then did the women follow, or was he already in the room and then said, "Yo, I'm about to beat off"?
It was his hotel room. He made the announcement. They decided to stay.
It's a PSA.
That's a wild PSA.
That's what it is.
That's a wild PSA.
That's what it is. That's like. Let's say G or Kyle goes, "I'm gonna do this right now. You guys can either leave or stay. We're all leaving."
And to be more specific, the report on him detailed the accounts of 5 women spanning the mid-90s to 2005. Each woman recounts startlingly similar situations where CK, an established comedian, either asked them to watch him masturbate or forced them to do so.
He's in some gangster shit.
Sarah Silverman said, "Yo, I've been in the room with him when he's done this, and I've just looked at it." And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Well, she was cool. Well, she was cool about it. But I want to know where Brandon was going.
Oh yeah, Brandon. So you're wearing you're wearing lace.
Well, no.
Brandon's definitely. Brandon's a girl. He's definitely wearing.
Kyle, you laughing kind of hard.
Yeah,
you laughing mad hard.
Brandon's face is beat for the gods. He's got a sweet bob going. What's going on here?
I'm mad you know hairstyles and the lingo to it. Like, we have to really get into that, though. You're not going to just the sweet bob with the slick. We're not going to just...
Hold on. You have to know what it is.
I think Brandon's a stiletto kind of guy.
You got a what?
I think he's a stiletto kind of
For
woman.
sure.
I think my legs look great in stilettos.
But where were you going?
No, so my point thought that he was already in the room and that the women followed to his room. That changes everything.
Oh, no.
If they're already in the room,
They were guests.
and then he said,
Right?
that
They were
matters.
guests.
That matters.
Yeah, they were guests.
So they were guests in his room. And then he beats off, but prior to beating off, he gives the announcement and says, "Yo, I'm about to get into some gangster shit." He gets into some gangster shit, and then they still stay there.
Them staying to me is consent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
The door was right there. He ain't
I don't
locked them in.
understand.
You
Yeah,
can
I'm about to
leave.
say they weren't bound. They weren't anything.
No, nobody's tied
And he's
up.
canceled because of that. They say, oh, well, because he's such a powerful comedian.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Because he's such
He'll
a
be back.
powerful comedian, that's what kept the girls there. They didn't want to leave and create a bad vibe with such a superstar.
He wrote,
no.
he said, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true.
He's a goddamn gentleman.
I mean, if I'm being honest,
He's a gentleman.
he'll be
I mean,
back.
if
He'll
he-
be back. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Really think about that. Like, if those women weren't held captive, if they were already in his room, which is a very, I guess, yeah,
That's his room.
it's his room.
I paid for it.
If I paid for it, you're a guest in my shit, and I give you the courtesy of saying, "Yo, I'm about to get into some gangster shit," and you don't leave.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the issue is. I want him back now.
Yeah.
What I have to say is
From
now,
a woman's point of view.
yeah, you know, because I have to jump in now.
Y'all wouldn't
You know what I'm
feel my
saying?
woman's point of view? No.
No.
I did want to hear Brandon.
Listen,
No, you
you,
just wanted
look
to make
great
fun
in
of me.
stilettos.
Thank you,
You
thank you.
definitely did your leg workouts
I
today.
appreciate it. Squat.
But I'm not even going to address the CK one just more specifically. I'm just going to do overall. I'm for cancel culture and I am for Me Too, but I also understand that there are women who are very conniving. And in society, we are built to believe the woman before the man.
Queen
And
right
so
there.
there have been cases where the man did not do anything, like the NFL player, entire life ruined, right? Because a woman, either he didn't want to be with her, or want to make money or some reason, and then later on. So I think that it's important for us to cancel the appropriate men, but it's also important for us to cancel some of the women who make it difficult for the women who have actually been assaulted and raped and etc. Those women need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Facts.
They need to. If you falsely accuse someone and you put them in jail and they didn't do it, and you come out later and said that they say that they didn't do it, your ass needs to go and put in jail and
agree.
serve that time.
I like that.
That's not okay.
I like that
because
too.
that's the thing. Like, there are good men that get accused of shit, whether it's by a black woman or a white woman or any woman in general. And that's what causes cancel culture to be so dangerous. People just can cancel anyone for anything for their own selfish purposes when it should be utilized because people are doing fucked up wrong things. And that's why I say I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe in accountability culture.
Yeah.
Because cancel culture can be aimlessly just thrown at whoever whenever they want, and that's not what it's supposed to do, and it deviates away from the important times where we need to say this person is canceled. So if we're seeing all these men who didn't do it and are being accused, then what they're going to do now is it's going to cause society to question the women who actually have been assaulted and be like, oh, how do we know she's telling the truth? We just saw a report the other day because a woman, because we do that, unfortunately. That's how it is. So honestly, like, if there are certain celebrities that are being accused of shit that they did not do, and those women know they did not do, and we found out, their asses, put them in fucking jail at this point.
I have another scenario I want to throw at you guys into the
This is gonna be a
viewership.
great
well, what?
Boondocks episode.
Yeah, well, this is all leading to the Boondocks episode, but I'm thinking about the Kevin Hart shit.
Oh, shit.
The accuser,
60 million.
is now suing him for $60 million.
And that's why he put out the tape, right? Or the clip.
Correct. He put out the clip.
Well, no, he didn't put out the tape, did he?
Someone did. Long story short,
It was his boy.
That woman
bribing
went
him.
to the boy was bribing him. They
Yeah.
taped him having sexual acts, right,
Exactly.
or encountering sexual acts, whatever. Even with him doing that, he was saying like, "Yo, fam, there has to be something to be said where I'm doing whatever and I'm being taped without my knowledge, without me knowing. Like, that's supposed to be a private moment. So that's one thing. Two, he already shows you that, hey, these people were looking to extort me, so I might as well just let the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
So why is it and I guess legally, I guess people could just go sue for whatever reason. I just don't know how successful this woman will be to now have all this evidence come out that's pointing to the fact that she was trying to, extort money out of him to now is trying to go for 60 mil.
What is her claim for the 60 mil? What is she saying?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll
look it
look
up.
it
I don't know.
Either way, but why you
I
look
think
at
she's accusing Kevin of putting out the tape to further his career.
No, she's not.
No,
Yes.
he's joking. He's being an asshole.
No, I'm not. I'm serious.
Oh wait, you're serious?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
get
what- that's what I
tell me
read.
that. This episode's gonna go way different.
Yeah, that's what I read.
So don't tell me that.
At what point?
Don't tell me that.
Wait, are we talking about the woman or the friend that you're looking
No,
at?
the woman. The woman.
The woman
Okay.
who's suing him
Look-
for $60 million. She has the temerity, the ovarian fortitude
Those are
to
good words.
sit up there.
Ooh, vocab. Yes, Nas.
I don't
Yeah.
even know where to begin.
Yeah, I don't know.
with-
You
with
could just
this
say
one.
that you're angry. I don't think you need to use all those words. I'm angry.
I think you just wanted to use the words.
I'll keep it short. I'm
He used the
angry.
words that he was done after that.
You know
He
what?
practiced all night.
She engaged in coitus with him.
Look, you see, he practiced these words in the mirror last night. He's like,
yeah.
quite. I have to say it with
Do you know what
expressions.
blows my mind though?
What's up?
It blows my mind that these people think that having sex with a celebrity is going to be a private thing.
Yeah. I know.
Like, do you know how many paparazzi people follow these celebs? Do you know how many people probably want to extort these celebs? You think that having sex with a big celebrity, it's just gonna be a private thing?
I think people feel like they can do it.
That's only a problem for women, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get seen. let me walk out
On
someplace
that
with.
note, let me read.
Let me walk out someplace with Halle Berry.
Do you think?
Paparazzi?
But do you really,
Actually, no,
honestly,
that's
do you really
no,
think
no,
Halle
that
Berry would
has
ever
happened.
walk out of someplace with you?
Anytime someone's with Halle Berry, everybody knows.
But that's
will
what I
say
said.
that.
I said they would know. Halle Berry would never walk out of a place with him.
You don't
She
of all-
absolutely would.
you don't know that.
Absolutely. I'm definitely her type.
I can tell by the slits in your jeans.
I look
Wilson
like
got toes that are stubs.
Yeah, word.
Because they don't know what you look like, so we can just make it up as
Yeah, I
we
know.
want. All right, so Kevin Hart is being sued by the woman at the center of the alleged sex extortion scandal for $60 million in damages for alleged intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and evasion of privacy, according to documents.
She taped it. Wait, what's happening?
Hart shared a video on Instagram claiming someone was trying to extort him over a sexually suggestive video involving him and the lady in a hotel room. Hart's former friend, Jonathan Todd, was arrested and charged with it, but has denied ever extorting Hart. She claims Hart, in fact, knew of the secret video camera within the hotel room and
of course
allowed
she
Jackson access to the room so they could tape her in secret. Hart said he did not. Hart's attorney did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. And the lady alleges the incident was to help, quote, promote Hart's irresponsible tour, which was a record-breaking comedy, and to increase his overall pop culture status.
Oh, that's a lawyer talking.
What?
Yeah, this woman. This
Wait,
woman.
what?
This
He was
woman.
wasn't
is
he already
trying to
selling
claim-
out before then?
Yeah,
Of course.
I mean, if,
So he destroyed his family.
for her.
Yeah,
If I'm being
in
honest,
order to promote his comedy special that he already sold out.
His family's not destroyed, number one. Number two, he did go on to go sell out a few
Come on,
venues.
man.
Of course.
Number three, who doesn't like a good assailant turned victim that goes on this honorable parade of, hey, I am a victim of my own circumstances, those circumstances being... I'm actually, never mind.
I'm a victim of my
gonna be
own
quiet.
celebrity.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but the hell with
she's
that
crazy.
GDW. That's what she is.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say.
I'm not rolling with that. I was trying to.
I like how you
I was trying to
cleaned that
shoot
up.
her some bail, but
Good
this
job.
kind of clear cut for me.
What?
I said I was trying to shoot her some bail. Like,
can't-
that's
No.
a hard. That's a hard.
You
Well,
go back to working at Carvel. Get
like-
2 scoops.
I like Carvel.
Yeah, that's where she works.
I like ice cream too.
Yeah, me too.
That's where she works at the ice cream shop.
Well, first of all, she knowingly slept with a man who was married. That's bad karma in itself, girl. So whatever comes
GDW.
after, whatever comes after, listen.
But my other thing is, which is odd to me, you knew the camera was in the room. If the lawyer, maybe this is lawyer talk, but if the lawyer is saying, hey, you went into the room and you and Kevin knew that the friend knew that the camera was there, y'all all knew that the camera was there, why are you suing him for it?
I don't think Kevin knew it was there.
That's what the report just
Yeah,
said. She said that
the woman is claiming that
the
Kevin
woman
knew.
is the woman is claiming that Kevin knew
If
that
Kevin,
the camera.
if Kevin knew, it would have been a way better angle on the sex tape.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, if you keep
No,
it in the
if
book,
a dude
keep it in
sets
a
up a
buck.
camera, it's
Keep
gonna
it-
be
keeping it a buck. Like I
it's
don't.
gonna be shot beautifully.
That shit was through a peephole through the purse. Like I don't know
I don't
that. You know what I'm saying?
All I know is if you're gonna mess with someone, whether it's a woman or man that's married, just expect that there's gonna be things, not so good things that follow it. Especially especially if they're a celebrity, you think that no one's gonna find out. You're not gonna get caught. You're not gonna get a photo one day. If you
That's
think
not
that's not the case, then you're
not-
crazy. The second that you quote unquote sign on to sleep with someone who is married, you are signing up for anything and everything that can happen after.
Yeah.
she's lucky it's 2019 because if it was like the 1960s, you saw what happened to Marilyn Monroe. She was out there about to snitch on the Kennedys, and then she OD'd.
Got her out of there.
Got her up out of there. You saw happy birthday to you. Yo, my wife is here.
Yeah.
You sing a happy birthday like that. It's over. That's what happened.
Can you sing it again?
Yo, was she like
Happy
the original thought? Fam, wait, what was? Why did you even move your jaw like that? He was like, "Happy birthday."
That's what she did.
It's like it's mad weird.
She
Like,
got
what was
she
that?
slept with both Kennedys. And who was her man at the time?
she
Joe
was
DiMaggio.
the original side piece. No,
She was thick too.
Yo,
Think about it.
She was the Kim Kardashian before the Kim Kardashian.
Word. She used to hang out in Long Beach and Compton with the
but
blacks.
that's what I'm saying. Like she was the girl. She
The
was the
blacks.
girl
Really out here.
that
The blacks.
into the blacks. She was the girl. That's horrible.
Oh, Republican Nas. Somebody's gonna put it.
Yeah, I'm about to say Republican Nas strikes again. I knew it. I knew
Cats
it was
out
gonna
the
come out.
bag.
I knew it was gonna come out. Shit. I forgot where we were going with that because of Republican Nas.
Marilyn Manson, not Manson.
Wait, what was I say? Wait,
Marilyn Monroe.
Manson.
Marilyn Monroe.
What the hell? That nigga
You
took-
God, I was just thinking about crazy Marilyn.
He took ribs out. Wow. Go ahead. What?
Yo, you can't go out there like now 2019 you could do stuff like that. And that's why the Boondocks is needed in times like this. So you could poke fun at how absurd this woman is that Kevin Hart needed her to boost his career.
It's a good defense.
Yeah.
How absurd is she? Oh, I need $60 million.
Yo, the crazy person in me though, I could see how that would be a game plan. I could see how it could be a game
Wait,
plan.
from who? Kevin Hart or her?
No, from her. I could see that.
See, but
Pursuing?
And only reason I'm talking about her reasoning as to why, right? I could see how she could say, "Yeah, I'm suing him because he used this whole story to his benefit and now is touring." I mean, that is in fact what happened. He went on a tour of interviews talking about him being back with his family, him owning up to the situation. Hey, I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
He had no choice though.
And I know he didn't have a choice, but regardless, what a way to turn a bad situation into a great marketing
man.
strategy.
No, she's not smart. She's not smart. She's not a real businesswoman. Now, mind you, I'm not a cheater. I don't sleep with married men. I don't do any of that. But if I was in her situation, what I would do is I would have set up a contract. I would have set up a contract with him, with the NDA, and be like, listen, I want to have this contract with you. If you want to sleep around with me, we have to have a contract with the NDA where you guarantee me a certain amount of money per month. If something happens where if people find out about us because of me, contract will be terminated. But if they find out because of you, you have to pay me for all damages that are inflicted, and then I'll be on my way.
This
You
sounds
gotta be a
complicated.
businesswoman.
I'm
no,
not signing that.
no.
That's
That's a win-win for you.
That sounds complicated.
No, but think about it. But then in that contract, you would obviously set it up where if he reveals it, I would take I would take like
ownership of
the
it?
ownership of
got you.
it. And then you just pay me some money and I'll be on my way. If you guys don't think that celebs are not doing contracts and
No,
stuff
they
like that,
do.
y'all
I
are
just think
crazy.
that sounds like a complicated fuck.
Nas, you would definitely sign that contract.
Definitely not.
No, but the craziness, there
To
are
sleep
some
with a celebrity?
celebs that would sign that and
To
do
say
that.
if I'm sleeping up.
Yeah, you're sleeping up.
Yeah, like the creme de la creme. Like
You're definitely signing
the
that.
golden
Yeah, you're
vagina. You will
100%
definitely
You're
sign
definitely
that.
signing that. You're definitely signing
A
that.
single Nas, you're right.
Yeah. We're not talking. Yeah.
Because think about it.
We're talking Muslim Nas.
if
We're
you
not talking
set
in
it
the
up-
streets Nas.
If
Like,
you
that's
set
what
it
we're
up
talking about.
where the money that you pay me in that contract is still lower than the amount that I could potentially sue you for, oh, you would definitely sign
That
that.
definitely happens though. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh, they do contracts and NDAs
I know
and
for
all
a
of that
fact
stuff.
that's
If I'm going to
happened.
sign an
Trust me.
NDA, you better give me some money with
Yeah.
it, okay?
I can't wait for the
Just in
Boondocks
case
to come back because
the
this
news
is gonna
comes
be fun.
out.
Yeah. Do you guys think the Boondocks is gonna do multiple episodes of 6ix9ine's whole life? It's got to be, right?
They probably handle it in one.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to cover.
I mean, they already did it with Gangstalicious and all that, right? Really?
Kinda. They didn't really go in depth.
Homies over hoes?
Well, look, I'm only thinking about it from
The
this
homies over
perspective.
hoes?
Homies over hoes. Listen, I'm only thinking about it from this perspective in the sense of they would be the void. Like, you know how what's this guy? Dave Chappelle came in and filled the void for comics. I felt like when he did his special, he was uncensored, he was unfiltered, right? But that I felt like that was needed. Even what's the other guy?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Ooh,
If you watch that special, he came in, did the exact same thing. I think it's needed. I think the Boondocks, they have a really, really good opportunity at coming in and filling the void for television programming that's uncensored. I just don't know if they'll be ballsy enough to do it.
Yeah.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
I
HBO
don't
knows
know.
what they're paying for.
I know, but I'm just thinking about present day. Just think about where we're at.
Nah, you gotta think
yo.
about you can't do that show without being, risky.
Yeah, you already got a fucking racist black man. Like, come on.
I hear
That's
you.
already going past it.
I hear you.
My
And I
man,
think-
But a good example of this is Dave Chappelle's special, right? In the midst, Dave Chappelle had
justice smells delicious.
Dave Chappelle came in an era where it was super uncensored and super like
His show?
yes, and even him getting pulled to the side for using the F word, he was like, "Oh, okay, like wow, I didn't know I was offending anybody." But now in the state where we are, where you know that you're offending someone, I just wonder how that will suffice.
But I think it's also a little bit different too, and it's weird to say this, but like the Boondocks, various times were making jokes about the black community, but also like. There was truth behind the jokes that he was saying in the black community.
Yeah.
I feel
were all
like
true.
once it goes out, there's certain communities that I feel like once you make fun of them and not make fun of them and don't take this the wrong way. I say when you make jokes, every community gets made fun of. That's just how it is with comedy. The best comedians will find a way to bring light to an issue through comedic relief. And bringing comedic relief or putting a light on something and shining something, I don't think every community can handle it. I think with us, in terms of the black community, we're always being made fun of by other communities, or we're always being talked down on by stereotypes. So like, it's a little bit easier for the Boondocks to be doing that. Have you noticed that when Dave Chappelle was making fun of the black community, there wasn't a major uproar? But when he was pointing out or highlighting the LGBTQIA community and et cetera, that's when he got pulled to the side. Now, granted, you shouldn't be saying the F word. And then also, I do think that there are times where he may go a little too far when it comes to certain communities. But also what he does is he actually brings a lot of attention to those specific issues, like the bus issue with the LGBTQI community.
Yeah.
I don't think people fully understand that community and even the inner workings or how they treat each other, et cetera. And, I spoke with a friend and et cetera, and they said, like, he wasn't wrong about that in some capacity.
Yeah.
In terms of how certain letters within the community are treated, but that also will bring light to showing us like how we
letters. I'm sorry, the way you said the letters.
need
That's pretty
letters
funny.
in terms of LGBTQIA.
No,
I don't
I
want to go
know.
like I don't want to go through every single one of them.
The G's don't
The
get
G's
along.
don't get along. That's the
Else.
only thing I think about.
guys
It's something with
are
those G's.
I'm trying to be serious.
I wouldn't
sorry.
wear that.
But I think really, and like I said, there were certain parts where I could admit he did take it very far. But
Yeah.
I think like now we do need some of that non-PC comedy in
agree.
order for people to really pay attention to certain things that are going on with
Well-
society. Because if you don't throw it in their faces or they don't see it through a special or something,
Then it's
they
not gonna
ignore
affect-
it.
yeah.
That's the only kind of comedy there is, though.
I think that's comedy,
There's no
right?
such thing as
Like,
PC comedy.
I was watching a Dave
it's what
Chappelle
they
shit.
call it.
Yeah, I was watching a Dave Chappelle shit with my parents. And they came up on the Richard Pryors of the world, like that type of comedy. That was the first thing my mom said. I said, no, he's really funny, Mom. Like, I think you'll like this. And my pops, he knew who he was. But long story short, they watched it and were hysterically laughing.
Hey.
Them coming from that era, they were like, wow, I didn't know that a comic like this existed.
Quick question, because we had talked about this on a podcast before. I said Dave Chappelle's way funnier than Richard Pryor, and you disagreed. You still disagree?
That's not
Just
that's not what you said, though. That's not what you said.
no. I thought we had that conversation before.
I don't think we did, but
Y'all
Maybe-
sound like
maybe
fucking
off
exes
camera.
right now.
yeah, maybe off camera. Maybe
I thought we
maybe-
had that conversation.
Yeah, maybe-
No, I'm just curious if after
maybe
the new
off
special,
camera,
if
but
Like he's watching,
I've
sitting there watching the movie. By the way, last week
I've gone on record and
At 7
saying my
p.m.
favorite comics are Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, and Richard Pryor.
Okay.
I say Richard Pryor because of what he does. There's no Eddie Murphy, even though there was obviously beef within all these comics or whatever, but that style of grit.
you still think that Pryor's funnier than Chappelle?
I've never said that.
Oh, okay.
I've
All
never
right.
said that.
I
what
must
about
have been
George
mistaken.
Carlin? Put some respect on my man George's name.
Yeah, I'm cool.
What?
I'm cool.
Oh my god!
I've never been a real big fan of George Carlin like that. I think he's funny at times. I don't think to watch a full. You're not gonna get the same impact that Chappelle has, and maybe obviously because Chappelle is a bigger act. But I feel like Chappelle's bits are set up way more clever than George. I would put Bill over George.
Bill Burr over
yeah.
George. Nah.
Yeah. The way he sets up his bits. I'm not talking about the actual show. I'm talking about the bits, the creative process around making you laugh at something, then taking it back and making you feel bad about it because hey, this is a real issue. That's rare when people can pull that type of shit off.
I think you need to go back and watch some of George's earlier work. That's just me personally. I don't want to get off too far off.
Well, great. Man. We'll go to the next topic.
All right, let's start.
Dick.
Yo, you guys are assholes. By the way, I didn't realize how much my friends were assholes until this podcast, so that's all right though. But let's kind of go back, right? And this is for we were on jokes, but now let's pull off the jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a little bit serious stuff.
6ix9ine. 6ix9ine.
All right,
this
guys.
stuff is yeah.
Yeah, slow serious. So, bring you guys up to speed. For those of you that don't know, 6ix9ine last week testified 3 days in a row in the racketeering case with 9 Trey gang, as well as his cooperation in that, right? He signed, I think, what's called a 511 form. That number may be wrong, but long story short, that granted him clemency, I'm assuming, in return for cooperation. He'll be out early in 2020 for full cooperation. He's a cooperating informant for the government. He also, a few things I think we found out about this as he took the stand. I don't think we knew when he was actually started working with the government. We found that out right after they picked him up the very next day. He started cooperating with them. Even the carjacking, that car that he was in, that he was carjacked, was wired and had full surveillance with it. Like, this is a whole big movie to me that I look at.
This movie's gonna be great.
Yeah, fast forwarding, he mentioned a lot of notable people that he is saying are still very active and are tied to 9 Trey, the Treyway organization. So, I mean, I guess it's all out there. You guys can look into that stuff. I really just wanted to talk about, like, my first thought in looking at this, like when reading the transcripts and then reading the leaked audio of the testimony, he sounded really scared. He sounded really, really scared. Like, as he is going in the motion of it, and you can see where, at least for me, you can see the change in how he responds to the questioning. Like, when he's first brought on, you can see that he's nervous. Like, even when they ask him to point out people in the courtroom, he's stuttering. There's cracking in his voice, and then it cuts off. The audio cuts off. And then by day 3, which is Thursday, I believe, he was talking very cocky, I'll say, to the defense. To the prosecutor. Like, very, even though I felt like whoever is representing the state or for this case, I don't really think that they're doing a good job. Or that could be one of those things where legally they already know no matter what, he's going to be fine come 2020 because he's a full cooperating informant. So I don't really know how that works. But what do you guys think about just all of this? Like, I went from top to finish. I looked at some of his biggest interviews, and even listening to the stories that he put together, even listening to like even the car chase. Where he says, "Oh, I rolled out of the car, and I don't even know," and it's just so crazy, and to see like him being Forbes, him being top, he's 11 of 11 on Billboard. He is he sold more than most artists have. It's
a movie.
Like, Can you? I would have never. I felt like this is the biggest case we've had in over a decade when you really think about it. I can't think of anything else that was bigger.
James St. Patrick.
Well, outside of that, listen. But I mean, the serious part about it, though, that's pretty funny. That really is a big case. I'm trying to be serious right now.
Yo, man.
I really do. I worry about his family. I honestly do. I understand I understand that with witness protection, obviously. There's just this whole thing is confusing. He's already talking about still like he's not gonna not put out music. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
I know how it's gonna work. He's gonna be in another country.
Yeah, but how do you like money is in the tour right now, and I don't think legally that he'll be able to do that. I think that would breach his WITSEC.
On top of that, whenever I think about like an assassin, I don't see a black guy. Like I can't see Bloods going to like Idaho.
Blending
take
in?
somebody out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you make it out of there?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't just worry about that. I mean,
I'm sure.
I don't think he needs to leave the country.
But not every.
Oh no!
Not
Wait,
every,
hold on.
Wait.
You said he doesn't think you don't think he needs to leave the country?
They're going to hit,
Nah.
Are y'all?
he could go to Montana.
Do y'all know how big? Do you remember the shit with Sammy the Bull? Y'all know about that?
I do.
I know you know about
Arizona.
that.
He's what, Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They got assassins.
I understand that. But listen, what
There's
I'm
no black
saying.
assassins.
Well, listen, what I'm saying.
That shit is only in movies, man.
No. I wouldn't. I think you're not giving this organization their just due and their power. Like, if you read the transcripts and what he's describing, this isn't some little gang. Like, this is a full-fledged organization.
Yeah, they've been around for 25 years.
They're calling hits. They are doing things that are big business. This wasn't chump.
Now, let's be clear. I'm not shitting on that organization.
Yeah, they've been around for a minute. They've been around for 25 years.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. This isn't. If I'm him, I'm getting out of the country. Like, he's doing something bigger than what they anticipated. Like, I'm sure they just wanted him to go and point at people and say, "Oh yeah, that's him. That's him." They're like, "Yo, can you elaborate on what you're doing?"
I think
and his first responses are, "Of course I can."
So
Don't be
cavalier.
doing
Hold on. He's still going to make music.
who is
How?
Is he more of Jay Reed and Donnie Brasco, or is he Henry Hill and Sammy the Bull?
No, I think he is Johnny Depp in what's that movie?
If this nigga says Donnie Brasco, I'm
No,
gonna
not
get up
Donnie
and walk.
Brasco. No. It's a newer movie. Where he, come on, G, you're a movie guy. He's an older dude. He was in the mob. He was known for hits, and then they killed
Whitey
him.
Ford?
Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger. He's more of that. Think about Whitey Bulger, how he got into it. Now, mind you,
That's Henry Hill.
I don't know who that is. Just go with the fucking
You've
point.
never seen the Goodfellas?
I've seen it, but I'm not thinking about Henry Hill. I'm thinking about the movie that I'm talking about and the point.
Henry Hill brought down the mob.
I know, but you know what? I don't think about it like that. Like when I look at certain movies, like the Whitey Bulger, I'm trying to put it together. Make sense? No? Okay. Nevertheless, Whitey Bulger, I'm feeling like is like that. Like, you see how Whitey Bulger even still at some point got caught, just because. I really look at it too. Like 6ix9ine is only 23. Do you really think he's gonna be ghost like out of sight?
First of all,
A 23. Do you remember what you were doing in 23? I was going crazy in my bedroom trying to leave someplace, do something.
I was wholesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
2% milk over here.
So, and I'm still delicious. But you thought you had one, but you didn't. But that just goes back to, like, if you're not about that gangster life, do not act like you are about that gangster life. Yeah. Like, especially when it comes to some of these artists that put it in their music. If you're not really about that life, do not put that in your music. Do not try to live that life, because he's a perfect example. He was clearly not about that life, and now he is letting everything be known.
Well, let me pose a question for you guys. Let's say your best friend, since you were a little kid, right?
Yeah.
Gets caught up in the same exact situation as 6ix9ine, right? You go to visit him while he's in jail.
I ain't visiting him.
Negative.
Well, would you tell him to snitch? Or tell him to keep his mouth closed and
Did
take
he
47 years.
voluntarily join this
He's
game?
not going to have any conversation with me because I am not getting myself involved.
Hold on.
Because the second they find out we're friends, I will be a target. I don't know who you are.
This is your best friend since you were a little kid. Your
This-
best
like,
friend.
in the
Yeah, I
great
get
words
what
of
you're saying.
Kiki,
A person that you love.
great words of Kiki
Let's be for
Palmer,
real.
I have never seen that man.
All right,
Let's be for real.
I've never seen that man.
If we're going with this is my best friend.
Your best friend.
I know what he's into. I'm not telling my best friend to snitch.
Nope.
I'm not.
Oh, you know.
And the only reason I'm not just because I'm not a snitch.
No, well, knowing everything
And-
that happened,
Yeah, even all of that.
even
though,
still, you would tell your friend,
and the only reason
take the 47 years.
No,
dog.
you knowingly got yourself into this.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's my best friend,
Knowingly got yourself into this.
And even still, I
don't
wouldn't even be
snitch.
mad at the snitch part. Let me take that back. I wouldn't be mad at the snitch part. I think I'm mad at the fact at how it's being done. Like he's naming people, at least to our knowledge, that didn't have anything to do with anything. And now he's named 3 to 4 people that are credible artists in the world that you didn't really, you knew that their activities, but you didn't know it was like connected like that.
Well,
like
one of those artists was on tape.
No, I know that. I know
Okay,
that.
okay.
I know that. But what I'm saying is, you're not when going into this case. Are you thinking that these people are going to be mentioned? I'm not. I'm at no point am I thinking, oh, well, yeah, so and so is mentioned.
So you would tell your friend, like, look, I know they kidnapped you. I know they fucked your baby mom and all that.
Yeah.
I know they did you pretty dirty. But
Well,
look, just keep your mouth closed, man.
I would. Number one,
Take the 47 years.
Number one, at least you like. For me, 6ix9ine had the heads up. Or he was ahead of the curve.
He knew what he was getting into.
But not even that. What I'm saying is he had privileged information. He knew about his child's mom and Shotty sleeping with her, right? He could have kept that in his back pocket and figured out a way out of it. I think you do more harm to not only yourself, but literally everyone around you when you go this route. So to the best friend, if I'm the best friend, I'm going to tell him to not to do that because at the end of the day, if they know that we're best friends, guess what? I'm going to die too. So yeah, relax. You go and take your time. Think about it. Shotty gets 14 years. That's really not a lot of time when you think about it. From what they're being charged with and accused with, that's not a lot of time. Mind you, I know 6ix9ine, the minimum he could have got was 47 because they are charging him with racketeering and they're charging him with funding a criminal organization. I get it. I just still kind of feel like if you're gonna do it, there's a way to do it and give them, I guess, what they want without giving the specifics. Like he went over the top with a lot of information, and
He's doing pillow talk.
yeah, like he was saying stuff no one even knew about. You know what I mean? Like he broke down everything,
nobody
so
likes
Nas and
tennis.
Aaron, you guys both also tell your friend, don't snitch.
Well, first of all, I would tell my friend, like, you agreed to be in this organization. You do know that things can come from it.
yeah.
So you need to hold yourself accountable for what happens to you. And that's just what it is. And at the end of the day, if you're my best friend, sometimes you gotta love your best friends from afar because
Facts.
I can't put myself and my family at harm because of the irresponsible decisions that you made. I'm not going to do that. Doesn't matter how long you've been my best friend. I will love you from afar, and I'll tell you. I once you get out, if you need anything, come and you can come talk to me. But it's hot right now.
Yeah.
It is way too hot. I am not going to go see you. And luckily I don't have kids, and especially if I have kids, oh no. Like I said, like the Keke Palmer meme. I don't know who this man is.
Yeah.
I've never seen this man. I will do that because I'm not responsible for the situation you're in.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, my family comes first.
The family should come first. But even 50 said the same shit. He said, yo, he kept being. Did y'all see all his recent interviews? They were like, yo, they kept asking about 6ix9ine, which you obviously would do that. It was saying that it was his son, all this crazy stuff. The first thing 50 said, no, I don't know 6ix9ine. He doesn't even have my number. I never gave him my number because I knew what was happening. He was already hot. I don't want no parts of it. Like,
There's also another interview with him saying, like, that'd be hard for that kid not to snitch. After
well,
everything
no.
that
But I
happened.
think anybody can identify with it. I
Yeah.
think you'd be narrow-minded to not identify with the reasons as to why someone would snitch. I'm just saying that I identify with it. I just would not do that.
Nobody likes a tattletale.
Yeah,
you taught from a little child.
And that's my thing.
You tell you, oh, my brother did this. You go to your parents, oh, my brother did this, my sister did this.
Yeah,
Why you tattletaling? Nobody, in every organization, legal or illegal,
Yeah.
the law enforcement has the blue wall. That's no snitching.
Yeah.
They call it something else, but it means don't talk.
Yeah.
Once you behind that blue wall, the blue line, no snitching, bro. No matter what goes on. That's why people are so mad at certain parts of law enforcement. Because you're not telling about, yo, this dude's racist and he's locking up brothers, black and brown people.
Yeah, cops should definitely be snitching on each other.
But they don't.
I mean,
They
business
don't.
people don't do it either. He's
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
It's every organization.
There's a code. When you really break it down like that, there's a code.
In Fortune 500 companies, if you start telling on what goes on in these business meetings, you're a whistleblower
Yep.
and you just breached your contract.
Facts.
Why are you snitching?
Facts.
Every organization has it. So this point, like, gang members have this no snitching policy. Everybody has a no snitching policy.
Yeah, even our government has no snitching.
Well, yeah.
Look what's happening now.
Yeah, what, Trump
Even our
snatched
government has no snitching.
He snatched what's the dude with the bleach blonde hair?
I know you're talking about.
Snowden.
Damn.
Is it? No, that's not Snowden, right?
Oh,
that is
wait,
Snowden.
for the WikiLeaks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Snowden.
Oh,
right?
wait, oh my gosh, I don't want to keep
I'm
messing it up.
having a brain fart.
Either
Yeah,
way,
I think it is.
they snatched his ass up out of the UK, out of that Venezuelan or Panamanian house, wherever he was. Get your ass up out there, dog.
Yeah.
You out here talking about WikiLeaks and what we do. Fuck is wrong with you? Oh, help. No more help, dog. You out there snitching.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're a rat. Every organization has. That's how I feel. And if it was my best friend, I presumably known. I know I fucked that up. I known that he voluntarily joined that gang. So when you voluntarily join a gang, you have to the good and the bad comes with that. So if you're doing dirt, expect to get dirty.
Yeah, but the difference is this isn't a gang. Like, this is something bigger.
It's a criminal organization. But they should have known.
And that's what I don't think people.
They should have kept him at FAR, Brandon. I hate to cut you off, but if his story
Hold on,
was
wait. Who should they have kept at FAR?
6ix9ine.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
If they came up to him like, yo, you look like you rap, according to his story, right?
Yeah, he should have never had any information.
You look like you rap. We can help you out. We can back you, and you gonna go out there and make these hits. If that's how I approach him, and he says, yeah, I'm not gonna trust that guy because he didn't come to me saying like,
That's
yo, I want to
really
get down.
good point. That's a good point.
Okay, you the artist. We having closed door meetings, dog. You wait out here.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna send Shotty to speak
I didn't
to
think
you.
about that.
Oh, so you're saying if someone is not actively pursuing being a part of it, then you should not. No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's saying from the rip.
That doesn't make sense.
They didn't recruit him. That's actually a really good point. They didn't recruit him for gang activity. They recruited him because they knew he did music and they figured they could funnel money through the music business. So they would give him money. He would give them money back and fund it. That makes sense. You should probably have never looked at him as a gangster. But again, he started doing gangster shit.
Okay,
so
that's fine.
I think that's where the blue. No, but just hear what I'm saying. That's like us, right? Like we didn't do podcasts. We didn't do shows. We have a show, right?
Right.
I think people can adjust. I think he adjusted to it and started losing himself in that life. Like, really think about a lot of the stuff that he goes on to say in those transcripts. He goes on to talk about ordering hits on people. He goes on to talk about robbing people, doing drugs, firing firearms at people, and moving illegal substances. So I think that he adjusted and probably got a taste of the life and didn't.
He should have had a caretaker or a consigliere that says like, yo, fam, let them boys handle that. That's what, if you go back and you listen to like Buntry that was with Death Row and Tupac. Tupac was never a member of that organization that 6ix9ine belonged to.
I get what you're saying.
You're the money maker, dog.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You should be over here. Let us handle all that gangster shit. Them dudes is out there talking. Don't worry about it. Oh, who's your big homie? You don't need to know that.
Yeah.
You don't need to know any of that. Just sit there. We're gonna give you the team colors. You go out there, go in front of the camera, and you get everybody hyped.
But he also pushed for that too. Like they said, the first video he ever shot, Gummo. Not the first video he ever shot, but the first one I guess that took off. The Gummo video. He asked for authentic gang members in it. I'm sure once they came around, saw he was a cool kid, I'm sure he had to do something. He also goes on to say, which I think it was the defense lawyer that asked this question, or whomever, but I'll say defense lawyer, asked them and said, hey, did you get initiated? In order to initiate someone, you have to slash 30 faces or kill 30 people. Whatever it was, he said no.
That's a lot. That's a lot of bodies.
Well, that was my other thing.
Nah, you just had to like cut somebody's face off.
Yeah, that's how it was
No,
at night.
but
When
30,
we were
30 people, yeah.
When we were 98, 99, when we were in middle school,
You had to cut somebody.
You had to,
Yeah, you had to
you know,
cut
somebody asked you what time it was, you never looked down.
Yeah, you either, or if you had your car lights was on,
A blinker.
The
Yeah.
shit.
They said that if someone has their car light on, don't use your don't blink your lights.
Don't blink back because you'll get shot. That was a big thing that happened for like a year straight. You
Yeah, I
remember
must
that?
I remember
Jersey.
that. I didn't blink. I said,
Oh, yeah.
they can keep their lights on. I'm going to be blind for like 2 seconds.
It was a big thing that there was people getting killed left and right in Newark and all over the place.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if gang members were driving in cars with their lights off, so if you were trying to be courteous, driving past them and flash your lights, say, "Hey, turn your headlights on," they would shoot you.
Damn, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Nevertheless, I say that to say I think that he got a taste of the life, and I feel like he had to do something to prove himself just because he's never.
Why'd you do that?
Huh?
Did you even realize the gesture you just did?
What?
You just said he has to prove himself. Like, why'd you do that gesture?
You out there with the
I don't know.
you the steel?
He just had to.
I don't know. I'm not saying you did it on purpose, but I just thought it was interesting how you did that
Well, he's
gesture
from
right
Jersey
when you
City,
said
right?
it.
That's where you from?
It's fine.
You from Jersey City, right?
No.
He was pulling out a condom.
I'm from Sea Caucus. Nevertheless, I feel like you have to prove yourself in
good
that
fellas.
arena, and I feel like because how can I put this? All right, I feel like because they didn't put him through the normal ringer of hey, if you want to be down, you got to do X, Y, and Z, and they
Put
just
in
said
work?
yeah, and they said no, just be an artist. I kind of feel like he felt like he needed to do certain things to solidify himself now. Does that make sense what I mean?
No, it does. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't think we can assume or guess what he felt at the time, what he feels now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
etc. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the same way that if you apply for a job, right? You're gonna partially know what you're getting into, but when you're in there, you really know what you're
Yeah.
getting into, and it's your responsibility to determine like, are you gonna get off or are you not? Because he wasn't initiated,
Yeah,
so he
no.
wasn't really even involved, right?
Affiliated.
Yes, I would say affiliated, but I think that this is. Do you feel like it's funny that you've mentioned this is gonna be like a movie? Like it could be a movie, or like, oh my god, I
This
hope it's
is
not
a-
like a Lifetime thing because that would be crazy.
This would be the greatest 30 for 30 I think we've ever seen, next to OJ, by the way.
No,
This is gonna
be
serve
a-
as an example,
Yeah.
and
But
honestly, this may be politically used also.
Hold on. So I was just having this conversation, and I wanted to bring it here. I just had a full-length conversation with someone about how this will not be an example. It should be an example. It should be. Do y'all really think that this will be an example? Do you think someone from the younger generation is going to look at this and say, damn, 6ix9ine made millions and made 10 Billboard hits and has everything he wants, but he's behind bars. Do you think that would deter a younger person to say, not do that, or to say, well, no, I probably could still do that, but he just made some mistakes, and if I don't make these mistakes, I'll still be able to do that. Make sense?
I think it's going to be used as an example more so for like the anti-hip hop political side of it, because they'll use this one example of because okay, think about it. Right now, we're in such a weird climate that they even use video games to justify why people are why people are shooting others up and not looking at some other reason. If there's an incident that happens where someone's like, "Oh, hip hop," you know, someone was listening to, I don't know, some rapper recently and went and shot up a bunch of people. Best believe that this is going to be used as a way to prove a point.
I get what you're saying.
They're going to use him as that example.
Gang life, rap life influences bad behavior. This is a perfect
Yeah.
example of what can happen once you. I get what you're saying. All right, I get what you're saying.
I can see it as an example in that capacity.
So my only thing is this an example that's really going to be fruitful, or will this be an example that is going to be the cliche thing of, hey, this is why this genre of music and this culture of people are in the circumstances that they're in.
Hip hop is too big now. Hip hop is broken up into subcategories. So gangster rap and trap music is over here. You got the pop rap over here.
Oh, you think so?
And you got emo rap. Hell yeah.
Now hold on, do you think that that's separated within our own culture or across the board?
Of course, rap is the new rock and roll.
I know that, but listen to my question. Do you think across the board, not within our community, across the board, meaning white, black, Asian, wherever, when they think about people, and this is talking about people that know music, right? That know what it is and know the history of it, right? Do you think that they are really breaking us out into subcategories the way that you think that they are? Because we do that because we're informed.
I think it's just two categories.
That's what I got it.
No.
I think that certain people on the outside just view it as two categories.
That's it. They just view it as hip hop. That's it.
I can see from if you're 50 or I'll say 55 and older, it's two categories for you because you're not listening. You know the old hip hop. The people 30, 40. I'm telling you, it's subcategory.
I mean, even some businesses categorize it. That's the thing too. It's like, it's funny because even within like the gaming industry, people on the outside, how they view gaming, how they categorize it. Like, did you know that? Okay, so for example, Ninja is like the face of gaming and esports. But the funny thing is he's not really associated with esports. He's more so of a streamer in gaming. He's been in competitive play. But if we're talking esports to the truest sense, like, no, not really. But those on the outside don't understand that.
Is that
the
guy
same
with the
way that
pink
I
hair?
see hip hop. There's still people, for as big as hip hop is, there are even people who listen to hip hop that do not understand hip hop.
Yeah.
Period.
100%.
And even from a marketing standpoint, right? It's a lot easier. And sometimes when companies are marketing towards a demographic and et cetera, they're not going to always do these subcategories. They're not going to be like, oh, this is conscious hip hop with a little bit of
They do know
this,
that.
that. No, not always. Listen, I've done marketing stuff. They don't always do that. And think about it. Who are some of the people who are leading the efforts with marketing? They're not black people.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't do these subcategories. They kind of just lop it into one or a little bit.
That's exactly what
I've
they
had
do.
so many meetings with people when it comes to gaming and esports, and there are people that don't even understand that gaming and esports, although they are under one umbrella, they are also a little bit separate.
Yeah.
And even still, there are people who do not understand hip hop, nor do they understand the history of hip hop. Even though they can rap a Kanye verse or etc., but they don't understand the complexities and different layers that it comes to this genre.
And I think, to your point, if it was broken out into subcategories, I think we would see way bigger artists from a hip hop perspective.
Hip hop,
Just
we're
because there's-
leading right now.
Yeah, but we're leading just because we're popular, not because it's
We've
right.
been leading since like 98.
I hear you, but again,
Well, leading in what? Not in numbers.
not numbers,
Yeah.
not numbers.
No, we
numbers.
just became the
started,
number one in terms of
Rap's-
streaming, etc.
I think rap's been number one.
Rap's been number
I think what y'all
we
missing.
killed rock and roll.
Listen, what I'm saying. Y'all are talking about numbers. We're talking about influence.
Hold on.
Listen,
Hold
what I'm
on,
saying.
Are you serious right now,
Yeah,
Brandon?
we're getting a little crazy.
You're getting a little out of hand.
So you guys know what I'm gonna say
Hold on.
because I didn't even get to finish saying.
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
go
Pop's
ahead, go ahead
influence?
with your preposterous statement. Go ahead with your
Look,
preposterous
okay,
statement.
just no, to get you guys incorrect,
Yeah, because I don't know what
because
you're
you
talking
guys are
about.
wrong.
You're
For
wrong.
the first time ever, R&B and hip hop has surpassed rock to become the biggest music genre in the U.S. in terms of total consumption. 2018.
Thank
I
you.
know my shit. Shut up with your hat and glasses.
Hold on, time out.
Pump the
I
brakes.
need to know what their criteria is. For
I just said numbers.
Numbers.
Hold on.
Numbers.
No. They said total consumption. So there's no telling what the fuck that means.
And that's streaming services.
That's streaming services. That's
Okay,
everything
those
as a whole.
we're living in the steroid era, Brandon. Those numbers. Oh, we're leading.
No.
We've been leading since '98.
You guys are now diverting from
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah, let's go back. Hold on.
It
Let's
was
go back
just
to the
said
argument.
that it was historic. It
Yeah.
finally surpassed rock. And I said, by numbers, hip hop did not, from total consumption, did not surpass rock until more recently.
Thank you. And then
No.
I said in 98.
And you guys said I was incorrect.
That don't
and I
sound
just
right.
pulled out.
It sounds like somebody who really loves rock and roll cooked the books.
Yeah, they definitely
on
cooked the
that.
books.
But why would
on
they?
that
Why would
synopsis.
they cook the books if it doesn't work in the?
Because
in the-
rock has not been leading
Yeah.
until 2008.
Listen,
Rap's been
listen.
outselling rock. All that.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what
Okay.
I'm saying, right? If someone from rock and roll genre cooked the books, wouldn't that article be more catered towards it being rock and roll?
it is.
Well, it is because they're saying just now.
Just now, hip hop is
You
leading.
know how crazy
to
that is?
last year. Hov
I
did a song,
think-
did a
hold
whole
on.
album with Linkin Park.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna put, and I'm hoping that you guys get this right.
Please.
What I'm saying is really simple. What we're talking about is numbers. What you guys are talking about are influence.
No,
You
we're
just
talking
said
about numbers.
influence
Can I-
45 seconds ago.
Yo,
Hold on,
you
Brandon, I'm talking about numbers.
The greatest thing about listening is that you just gotta listen.
Go on.
Just listen.
Go on.
Just listen to what I'm saying. Influence-wise, hip hop has been the leading genre to me ever. I can see it in movies. I can see it in some of your favorite people. I can see it in the way people talk. You can see it in the Patriots owner. Like, you can see it, right? From a numbers perspective, from a really performing in the field, no.
What numbers are you talking about? Are you talking about streaming? Are you talking about album sales? Or all of that? All of that, right?
Holistically.
You think that they've been selling? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to say that. You think rock and roll's been outselling hip hop?
Yes.
You're
yes.
you're wilding.
Well, first of all, another thing too is just to correct you. It didn't say specifically rock and roll. It just said rock. You do know that they can put the Beatles under that genre.
That matters.
That matters.
So what are we talking about here?
Did you?
Hip hop's still number one. It doesn't change my argument at all.
Not necessarily by numbers. Before it wasn't by numbers. More recently, you're seeing acts like Drake and others that are actually beating the Beatles and beating some of these people that they could have put under the genre as rock. I didn't specifically say rock and roll. I said rock. How they categorize rock, though, the same way they categorize quote unquote. Well, this is the thing. When it comes to hip hop, certain analytical people they don't do these subcategories of hip hop. On rock, they get away with it and they can do that. That's why I said they could put people like the Beatles. They could put some people like, I don't know, who else is worse? They could put some of these top people who
Post Malone.
under rock.
Post Malone could technically fall
So
under rock.
from a numbers standpoint, what they're saying
Post
is
Malone's
that
definitely going under hip hop or
No,
R&B.
not-
No.
he doesn't
No.
have to.
He doesn't
have to.
He doesn't identify as any of those genres. He actually identifies as a rock
So
artist.
White Iverson is a rock song.
I hear you. I just listen to what I'm saying.
I just wanna
I'm
know
not
where
He
talking.
doesn't even have a band.
I'm not talking about how it sounds sonically. I'm talking about what he identifies with and what he submits as. He could submit as that.
Does he?
What? I don't know. But all I'm saying is,
call him up.
I don't
Let us
have
know.
his number.
all I'm saying is, well, I guess we can pose this to the fans, right? And let's see, because I'm going off of just knowledge
Wait.
and just.
I just want to say one thing though.
Hip hop's definitely outsold rock and roll for I don't even
How
know.
many
Okay,
years
if
would
you
you
can, if you have
We
the
killed
numbers to prove
grunge.
that, then bring that.
I just wanna
Until
see the
then,
numbers.
you can't go off of your personal feelings.
We killed grunge.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see the numbers.
Grunge
I'm going
killed
off of
hair
just strictly
bands.
numbers.
But that's
We killed grunge.
But you guys don't understand when it comes to hip hop, they don't categorize certain people within hip hop.
Hip-hop is
They'll
not even
put them in other
respected
genres.
like the way-
rock, the
yeah.
term rock, they could put whoever they want. That's what I'm saying. They can put the people if they want to put Post Malone,
Don't
if he
talk to me
identifies,
about
they can.
analytics, man. Analytics says Carmelo Anthony is a detriment to teams. My eye is telling me he's bussing Danny Green's ass on the fucking pickup
No,
game.
but that's not true. He could be a detriment because he
But
could be
also,
he could be
whoa,
locker room
whoa,
Let's,
cancer.
let's, let's not go there.
Whoa, that comparison's
let's
a
stay
little
on hip
off.
hop.
Danny Green is on the LA
comparison's a little
Lakers.
off. That we're
I
doing
just
NBA
saw
analytics
a pickup
with
game where
music
Carmelo was
lyrics. Oh my
busting his
gosh.
ass.
Don't talk about Danny Green like that. Number one, he
Lord
had an
have
off day.
mercy.
That's number one. Number two, I could see how you know who's a perfect example of this. What was this? Sebastian Telfair. Sebastian Telfair, perfect example of, or you could even say Allen Iverson, perfect example of killing on the court, but people looking at him as being locker room cancer, team cancer.
Who did
Because
he
of-
have around him?
What are you talking about? Who he had around him versus what I'm saying? What I'm saying, like you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is very
All
clear.
I know is, like always tell you guys, I'm a woman that's about facts and context. If you can give me the factual stats and information before that proves otherwise,
That's what I
then
mean.
I'll change. But based off of Nielsen ratings, based off of streaming, based off of album sales, based off of record-breaking moments with Drake and etc., before that point, hip-hop was not outperforming rock. But this also draws back to the racial, I would call it the racial disparities between the genres.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot more people that could be considered rock, but there are people that are within hip-hop that don't want to be called hip-hop, and then they can say that they're in rock, and then adds number to that genre. Then there's people, and then there's older artists that they can also add into that rock genre. So until then, hip-hop, from a certain analytical standpoint, just recently surpassed the rock genre. And I remember it because everyone was celebrating, like, oh my gosh, finally you can stop saying,
thing.
Yeah.
It was a big thing. That's why I'm perplexed by while they're saying this. The other thing is, I feel like there's a parallel between like the genres in hip hop and LGBTQI community. Like how Dave Chappelle broke down how all of those, I guess, lifestyles, thank you. All of those lifestyles are different and they're not one big movement, but some of them don't agree with each other and all of this. The same thing happens in hip hop. It's the same exact thing, but I think on a bigger scale, it happens in music. It happens with rock, with hip hop, with
This
pop.
is an article from January 24th, 2017, a year before the why rock can't compete with hip hop in 2017.
But that's.
But what is that? What is that going off
wait,
of?
is that an op-ed?
You're talking about influence.
Oh my
But
god!
that's what I'm saying. That you're lose. That's a bad thing because
First
I'm
of all,
sure.
I wasn't saying influence. I was saying numbers. I'm still
saying-
waiting for the numbers.
I'm
that
saying
prove what
numbers.
you guys are saying.
Yeah, I'm saying numbers.
I'm
but
still waiting.
If you read that the way that you read that, I'm sure that that's probably an opinionated piece that's not going to real giving factual information around
I'm just
that.
letting you know.
But if you want to read the rest of it, I would love to hear it. Just
No, I'm
because
not
I want
gonna
to see your defense because I'll fucking crush you.
You're not. Then the audience is going to let you know that rap has been outselling rock.
Okay. Well, let's
the late 90s.
let's spin it back to the fans. Fans, viewership, supporters. We love you.
I'm talking about fucking
Give us an analytical report. I want
Yeah,
to see all of the numbers.
Can
I
someone?
want to see all of the numbers.
I want to call. Hold on. I want to call someone. I want to call. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
we
call
haven't
somebody,
done a
please.
call in
You
a
have
while.
a fucking plethora of people in
God.
there.
Let's
and that
call
fucking
someone.
phone
Let's
book.
call someone. I don't like the way you're talking to me. Let's call someone and let's see who.
Yo, call somebody.
Who can we add?
I don't need to
You got
call.
2,000 contacts.
I don't need to call. I just gave you numbers. I'm still waiting for you to
call.
give me numbers. You're giving me basketball crap. You're giving me all things that do not even apply to what we're talking about.
Hold on.
Give me the numbers
Hold
that
on,
apply
come
to
on,
what
come
you're
on.
talking
Hold on,
about.
time out. Technically, you didn't give us numbers. You just said that we just recently beat
Okay,
them.
here are your
Or
numbers.
hip hop just recently beat
Okay, here
rock.
you go. Here are your numbers, right?
Give
I'll
me
you
some
full.
years.
Some years?
Yeah.
Okay, so rap has experienced the second highest growth of any genre, spiking 25% over 2016 and coming in just behind Latin music, which was up 30% in total volume.
Those are numbers.
8 out of 10 most listened to artists of the year came from R&B and hip hop, led by Drake, and that makes sense because Drake actually broke some Beatle records, which is what I said. Thank you
Wilson,
very
those-
much.
those are numbers.
Then on top of that,
Are you still talking about this year,
Those are numbers.
oh my,
2016?
Those are numbers.
that just said 2000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man! You
Those are
know
num-
what?
It's fine. It's
Google
fine.
it.
Listen,
look it up.
listen to the fans' viewership. Let us know. We're not going to drag this on. Let us know what you guys think. And for this episode, like all other episodes, obviously, comment and subscribe. But we really want to know what you guys think around this topic. Provide some data. Provide some articles. Maybe me and Erin are off. Maybe well, we'll see. Maybe Wilson and Nas are right. I would really like to see what you guys come up with. Leave a comment on this piece and let us know what you guys think. I guess that's it. That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I think that's it. And AB's a bozo. So
Yeah, let's not.
That's
even
for
go-
another day.
Yeah, that's for another day. Lord, I
You lost-
feel like we could do a whole episode about
40
that
million
shit.
in 2 months.
You got to be the dumbest. Like all you
yeah.
had to do was just be quiet.
All
What I
you
tell you,
had to
Kyle?
do was not tweet.
What I tell you? This,
All you
shut
had to
the
do
fuck
was not
up.
All you
tweet.
had to do was just be quiet, son. Damn. All right, I'm out, man. Listen, be sure to subscribe. Grassroots Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Hit the notification button to be notified for the latest and greatest episodes. Brandon Killabh Hall.
Erin Ashley Simon, show me the facts.
Show me the facts.
That's more so for you two.
Well, I'm reading
but yeah.
some right now. It says hip hop became the best-selling genre in the mid-90s and top-selling music genre by 1999.
I'm Rashudo Brown,
Who's that
and those
from?
were the facts.
So there you
that
go. I
from?
just saved you listeners a lot of time. I'm Wilson.
I want to know where that's from. I want to know where that's
But
from.
what is the total breakdown? Is it just saying best selling or total conconsumption? I was talking about total consumption.
These are all
Man,
you guys.
At this point, do your own research. I gave you the numbers you asked for, baby.
Well, baby. Numbers.
Nope.
All you guys are doing are making
You just said
blanket
best
statements.
selling.
Like,
Since
What is it?
1999.
No,
Most of you
what is-
listeners weren't even
and
born
second of all,
yet.
you could have wrote that in your notes. I would like to see the article. I'm
Yeah.
not rolling with this. Like, fuck out of here. We out. Peace.
Grassroots.